if someone was to step out from the car or behind the car, we could hit them because we're quite close. Okay, so when you're ready, I get to check that it's safe and we'll move on. So prepare your car for moving on. Sometimes there might be an instance where we can't pick up the reference point because we're limited on space. So if that's the case, we're going to reduce our speed right down, because then if something did step out or someone opened the door, we're already going quite slow, we'd be able to stop.
Oh, okay. Not too sure what's happening here.
So we can see headlights in the bonnet.
Yeah, I only saw them at the last minute.
Sorry, so we want to be looking right down the road, and then that's going to give us a chance to anticipate what could happen. So we've got people over here on the right, they could step out.
I don't see any problem
You
with
see a
that.
little child over here. Behind this car there's a child
No, I don't.
standing on the pavement.
No.
Where's he gone? No.
Oh, no.
So what could we anticipate from that child?
Turning left.
We're going to turn left.
Oh, he could have run out in front of me, couldn't he?
Again.
Yeah, to run out in front of me. I just braked, didn't I?
Yeah, you want to, it would be an emergency stop. Yeah.
Yeah, even if they walk out in front of me in good time, I just braked, didn't I? Just slow down.
Yeah, because because you can see it happening, because you can see that something could happen. You would have checked your mirrors, and then if you have got.
Oh, I would have checked the mirrors first, would I?
Yeah, if you're anticipating.
I'm turning left.
We're going to turn left. So if you're looking down the road and you can anticipate that something's going to happen. So if your right foot's going to move off of your gas, you want to be checking your mirrors.
Oh, right, mirrors first, yeah.
Because then if you have got to stop, you've already got an idea of what's going on behind you. Can you remember why we're keeping this distance from the cars?
Oh, in case the door opens.
What else?
Or pedestrians walk out.
So sometimes you can't see the pedestrians when they're standing behind a car, so a good way is to have a look under the car. You might be able to see their feet. So as you're looking down the road,
And
you might be able to see.
turning
We're going to turn left. So as you're driving down the road, you can look for their legs. You might be able to see them between the wheels underneath the car. So what can we anticipate here with this car with the brake lights?
Okay.
So he could be. Where's that? He could be holding back. For
Holding back, what's that?
yeah, that's when we're leaving. When we're letting other traffic through. Okay. So I'll show you.
End of the road, right?
At the end of the road, we're going to turn right. I'll show you a holding back position, which is when
What's
you're.
that? What's holding back?
It's when you're letting other cars come through. There's not enough room for both of you
Just
to pass at the
just
same
come out a
time.
road a minute. Remember everything you tell me on that
Yeah,
brake.
it's gone.
It's gone as soon as I press the start button.
Yeah.
See, he's indicated. I was trying to pull in there and let him pass.
So do you think by the time we saw him, we didn't have enough room to get over there? Did
I've
we?
never done this before.
So if you've got quite a tight road, you want to be anticipating that there could be cars coming towards you, and you're not going to have necessarily enough time to move out into the gap, which in that case you would keep yourself where you are and let that car pass.
There's a room there.
Would have been too far. Okay, so I'm going to help you find a holding back position. Okay, so we're going to bring our car down to walking pace.
Here.
No, sorry. The next one. Okay, so we're going to bring our car down to walking pace. And we're going to position close to the centre line here for this one.
I am close to centre line.
Okay, and then I'm going to bring you to a stop here.
Here.
Okay, so where are the wheels coming in? Oh no, that's not the right one. So I get you to go a little bit closer actually, sorry, I confused myself. Okay, and then we'll stop here. So here, we're close to the centre line. There's enough room for a car coming towards us to pass us, but also we're not so close to the parked car that we can't see what's coming towards us, and this is going to give cars behind us a clue that we're holding back and not moving over. Because if we were too far over to the left, they might think that we've pulled over and then try and overtake us as we go to pull out. And then if we're too far over to the right, we're not going to give enough room for those
So
cars
I always
to get
go
through.
left to centre.
If there's enough room to go left to centre, if there's not enough room, you can move yourself over to the left, and then you decide whether it's wise to give a signal to let people that are behind you know that you are holding back and you're not pulling over.
Would I go as near to left to centre as possible?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not always.
So yeah, as near as possible to allow another car to come through.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're ready, I get you to check that it's safe to drive on.
Yeah.
Stop the car. What's going to happen if you're not checking your blind spot before you move on?
Well, there could be somebody coming out of one of these drives.
Okay. So I'm going to check.
I've
So
gone now.
right over your shoulder.
I
stop
did,
the
yeah.
car. So
Should I go now?
No, we'll stop. We're holding back, aren't we? Let that car come through.
Oh, right.
And then,
Oh, that's what this holding back's all about, is it?
yeah.
Oh,
So is it safe to go?
yeah. He could have held back there, couldn't he?
He could have. But that's again where the anticipation comes in. You've got to anticipate what that car's
turning
going to
right.
do. We're going to turn right. So if you're looking well ahead down the road, you can look for gaps in the cars that you may be able to move into to let the cars past. And you can also anticipate whether that car is going to let you past or whether they're just going to continue on. And if you're looking down the road as well, you can decide whether you've got enough space for both of you to pass.
And turning right.
And we're going to turn right.
Yeah, sorry. Do apologise. Next right.
The next one.
That was my fault. Do apologise.
So as you were going to turn into that new road, you can see the car. You look into the road, see what's going on. You see the car coming towards you. Then you've got to make that decision if there's enough room. If we've got a person here, what can we anticipate? So we check our mirrors.
Everywhere.
So, yeah. So anytime you see something that could make you slow down, check your mirrors,
No.
and then. Okay, so we've got a car coming towards us.
Oh, stop.
So up there, do you think that two cars would have been able to fit through there?
No.
No. Okay, so that's when we use the holding back.
Oh,
Okay. So is it safe for us to go? Is there enough room for us to go through?
yeah. Yeah.
So remember to check that blind spot.
I did.
No, you didn't. Stop.
My blind spot's there.
All right. Right over your shoulder then. Do I just check your blind spot? So remember, we're keeping the doors width from the car. Steer to
Oh,
you.
sorry. And turning left.
We're going to turn left. Do you remember why we want to keep the doors width?
Oh, yeah, I remember now, yeah. In case the door opens.
What else could happen?
No, a pedestrian could walk in.
And if there's not enough room for us to keep the doors width, what do we do with our speed?
I'll go slower. There's no chance one of them cars will move away, is there?
There is, yeah. That's another thing to anticipate. The car could move away, a door could open,
Oh,
someone could
right.
walk out from behind the car.
Not to remember.
There is. So, is there anything coming towards us that we're going to have to hold back for?
No.
So we're looking right the way down the road because then we can look for traffic coming towards us. What could we anticipate with this car with the
Oh,
bonnet up?
check on my mirror. I think he's mending his car, isn't he?
Yeah. So you could step out, couldn't you, if you wanted to go around the other side. So do you think we're going to hold back for this car?
Oh yeah. She had to slow down quite a bit there, didn't she?
Because we were restricted on space.
Could I not
so
moved
we could
over
have
a
moved
bit?
over. Yeah, we could have moved over to the left a bit.
It's about this position, right?
Yeah. So you want to be checking that there's enough room for that car to pass.
Oh, he's flashing me now.
So he's flashed us. So we've got to make sure we're reading it correctly. That he's reading his signal correctly.
Oh, right.
And then
And turning left.
I'm going to turn left. Yes, if there's restricted space, then we can move ourselves over to make enough room. So do you think here we could do a rolling holdback? We could just reduce our speed to give the car enough time.
Got a clue what they're doing. And we're going to turn right.
And we're going to turn right. Can you see this white car down here? This is a hazard to us, isn't it? So
What,
do
a
we
taxi?
do? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do we do as soon as you see a hazard? in
Slow
front of
down.
us? We're going to check your mirrors first.
Oh, check the mirror first, yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to check the speed and distance of
Yeah.
cars behind you. Okay, can we get 2 cars through here?
We need to get 4 cars through here, don't we?
I mean,
Yeah.
through the gap.
Straight on.
Going straight on. What other sort of things could you anticipate happening down here?
Anything.
What about this boy on his bike?
He looks alright to me.
So if he was to look over his left shoulder. So do you remember the tyres and tarmac
Oh,
core we
sorry.
talked
Sorry
about?
about that.
Can you remember why we need to keep that
Yeah,
distance?
because they break down and roll back when the fire engine comes.
Yeah. If that boy on his bike was to look over
Look over where?
to the other side of the road,
Oh, his left shoulder, you mean?
yeah,
But what about it?
would that give you a clue that he was about
Oh
to do
yeah, he might be
something?
going to cycle up the pavement. I do that on my moped.
So what would you do?
Sorry?
What would you do if you saw him look over his
Slow
shoulder?
down.
What would you check first?
Oh, mirror, yeah.
And what are you looking for in your mirror?
The distance speed of that vehicle behind me.
So if we don't check our mirrors before we slow down, what could happen if we've got someone really
Well,
close
I
to
could
us?
slow down and stop and get hit by the vehicle behind us. But
So you want to
that's the
know.
bus that's the bus stop where I get my bus to work every morning.
So if there was a bus parked here and we had to overtake the bus, what sort of things could you anticipate
Turn
happening? We're going to turn right.
Right.
This man here, so he's checking the road. So if there was a bus parked there in the
Yeah.
bus stop, what sort of things could you expect?
Well, the same bus driver I had yesterday, he just pulled out in front of everybody.
What about people running for the bus if they were late, across the other side of the road?
Oh, I do that, yeah.
And what about the people that have got off the bus?
Yeah, I always walk around the front.
Yeah. So you're going to be less likely to be seen then, aren't you?
Oh.
So you've got to anticipate that there could be people planning to cross the road in front of the bus. Could be people running for the bus because they're late. The bus could pull out.
If I come up behind the bus and he puts his right hand indicator on, yeah, turning left.
And you turn left. Yeah.
My brother said just keep going.
So you have to give way to a bus. In the highway code it states you have to give way to the bus.
My brother don't.
So sometimes bus drivers assume that you're going to give way to them and they can just pull out. So you want to check your mirrors, reduce your speed and plan for that bus to
Just let him
pull
go.
out. Yeah. So here, can you see we're reducing our speed because we haven't got a lot of space, have we? Do you know the reason why you reduce your speed if you haven't got a lot of space?
Give me more time to react, innit? You know this tyre and tarmac thing?
Yeah.
That's really good.
So with buses and lorries, it doesn't really work.
Doesn't it? Oh, is that good then?
You want to, if you come up behind a bus or a lorry, you want to be able to see the top of the bus or the lorry and the road.
Oh, right. Why is that?
Because their wheels are further under the vehicle than a car.
Oh, right.
So you're going to end up being closer to the vehicle.
Why is everything always got to be so complicated?
The more you practice it, the more it makes sense. So you want to think as well with buses and lorries, because they're quite big vehicles and they haven't got a good view out of their back window. Some lorries, they haven't got the back window. If you're quite close to them, they're not going to see you. And then if they decide that they need to reverse, they're going to be reversing straight into you, not realising
Sometimes I see
you're there.
I've seen a sticker on the back of lorries. If you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you.
Yeah. So.
Turn right.
We're going to turn right.
I read in the highway code, you should stop in that box.
Yes, unless your exit, unless your exit is blocked by oncoming cars.
I've got room to go through here.
Yep. So that's good, you're reducing your speed.
Yeah.
You remember why we're reducing the speed?
I was very nervous there. Yeah, I've got less time to react, haven't I?
Yeah. Or more time to react even.
Or more time to react.
These junctions here, what things could you anticipate happening?
People pulling out and turning left. And if you get me to park on the service road behind the blue Vauxhall.
Can I get you to park on the service road just behind the blue car?
How'd I do?
Yeah, it's good. We got you reducing the speed when the space was restricted.
Yeah.
We found a holdback position to give the other cars coming towards us enough room.
Yeah, I got a bit confused with that.
Yeah, sorry, that's my fault. I always confuse it every time.
Just out of roll, the clearance and the holdback is a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you don't give a blanket instruction and say it's always going to be left to centre. Yeah. It's as near to left to centre.
Yeah.
Without interfering with oncoming traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
There may be some occasions where I may have to go close to the curb. Yeah.
Yeah.
There could be a great big, 40-ton lorry coming towards me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I may have to consider having to give a signal, won't I?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have been a little bit more on top of me about the tyres and tarmac coming out onto the dual carriageway at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know I was going to do it, yeah? I had a funny feeling at the beginning that you were expecting me to remember what was what's said on the brief.
Yeah, no. I've got to remember that it just goes out the window.
Yeah, you were kind of asking me questions, weren't you?
Yeah. That's part 2.
Sorry?
That's phase 2.
Yeah, there's probably some anticipation questions I could have asked, answered. But I wouldn't be able to answer questions about meeting or clearance.
No.
Yeah, you got to put some money in the bank on them first, didn't
Yeah.
you? And then come back with the questions, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the reason why I shaved after you'd given me a reference point and given me the reasons, I had to kind of drag the reasons out of you a bit there, didn't I? You remember what I said to you?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said about I can't remember
This
how
must be
said it.
important, you
It
keep
must
banging
be,
on
yeah.
about it, yeah?
I was trying to say it, and then you come back close again, and I'm just not quick enough saying it, because then by the time I'm trying to say it, you're already coming back in again. I was like, wait, don't go back in, to give me a chance to say it.
Yeah, we got there in the end now, yeah?
Mm.
Would you have mentioned the, I think you were going to bring the buses up, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but the bus stop,
Yeah.
and then you turned off to the right. So then I didn't say it, because then we were coming into the new road, and then you come back down, and I forgot about it.
No, I meant the,
Or the distance, the
no, the
times-
bus stops.
Oh, the bus stops, yeah. No, I was going to say it, and then you turned off, and then when you come back down, I was thinking bus, and then I didn't say anything.
Yeah, yeah, the holdback position was a little bit over ambitious to begin with, wasn't it?
Mm.
I must have been about 10 or 12 car lengths back where you stopped me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you slowed me down way too
It's
early.
gauging the distance of the speed and when to, like, how quickly it's going to slow down.
Yeah, and kind of give me the reasons why. Because we were there for a few minutes. There was nobody behind you.
Yeah.
And it's nice of you, if you let your pupil know, I'm holding you here for a reason, because I want to give you education about
Yeah.
the holdback position, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, because some pupils would be a bit funny about holding back there, and they'd be, let me go, they'd be itching to go. But if they know why you're holding them back, then they'd be a bit more keen to stay there.
Yeah.
And then, when you gave me that information, there was a blue Ford Focus coming towards you, wasn't there? You know, so you had a live meeting situation there, yeah? You should have used that, really, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're waiting.
Yeah.
If I tried to go through with that blue Ford Focus coming through at the same time, we both would have had to stop, or we would have hit each other, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rest of it was very good, though.
I don't like that one.
Sorry?
I don't like that one at all. Ever.
It's not as bad as it sounds. It's not as bad as it sounds, yeah? There's plenty of situations there for you to demonstrate a holdback position. Just use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use them. You know, even if it means that you're going to say to me, I'm just going to, don't get frightened, I'm just going to put my hand over and I'm just going to steer you into position. You know, as long as you let me